I'm now at week 8 postpartum, and the theme that feels really present for me this week, especially, is gentleness and compassion. I've noticed that as I've kind of gotten slowly back into the swing of things, starting to take clients on again, working on my book again, getting back active on social media again, I've found that I'm in a place of being aware of times when I'm doing something because I feel up for it, and then times when I'm putting pressure on myself to be at a certain place or to do things because I feel like I should, or because I feel like I need to. And it's crazy how that inner critic, that little voice, can creep up in such subtle ways, even around things that are intended to be good. Like for me, writing is so nourishing. Yet, if I'm sitting down and I'm trying to get in the groove and then Lucas is crying, or I remember that the laundry needs to be taken out, then I start to feel really frustrated, and something that's nourishing becomes depleting. So too with yoga. I just finished a yoga practice, and it's funny when I give myself uninterrupted time to be on my yoga mat. It's like it fills my cup unlike anything else. And as I've spoken about before, I feel so grateful. My body has really craved yoga, and I started practice much earlier than I had expected. And about maybe 16, 17 days ago, I started a 45 minutes of yoga for 45-day challenge through this great app that I love to use called Inner Dimension TV. And I noticed that over this past week, I started trying to kind of do two things at once with yoga. So uninterrupted yoga, me being on my mat, having alone time, I feel amazing. Like right now, I feel so calm and at ease. And yet this week, I found myself trying to justify doing yoga while also watching the kids somehow, which basically meant every time I could do a reach forward, like in a warrior two or a downward dog, I'd be bouncing Lucas on the bouncer, and then Lila would be treating my body like a jungle gym. And it was horrible. And yet I felt like I should be also watching the kids while doing yoga, because now that life is kind of getting back to normal, getting a babysitter or pulling Warren out of work would somehow not be justified. So it's interesting. I had a really great talk with Warren today, and he just kept asking how he can support me. And honestly, the only thing I could think of was remind me to be gentle with myself and to show the compassion and the unconditional love that flows so freely from me to my family towards myself. Last postpartum, I had a lot of feelings around who would I be, or what would I be if I didn't get back to things really quickly. And I don't feel that now. I feel much more of a sense of wanting to savor my time with Lucas and really being present to where I'm at in this postpartum. And yet, my inner critic has never gone away, but he's coming out in interesting ways now. And because we've been a family of 4 now for 8 weeks, the initial outreach from friends or family, how are you doing? How can we help? Is started to subside. And that's a really normal thing. In fact, it would be an exception to what's kind of normal, at least from what I've noticed with my clients and friends, in terms of offers for support. Or even check-ins. This is kind of the time period where people are like, oh yeah, they have kids. All right, moving forward with our lives. But now is the time more than ever when the messages that do come in from friends or family mean a world of difference. So yeah, gentleness, compassion, and reminding myself that I can take my time. The theme of time is also an interesting one. Maybe that's another video, but time is just becoming more and more valuable. And so something that Warren and I have also talked about this week is kind of trimming anything that's excessive or not really important from our lives. That includes people or activities that aren't really nourishing or supportive to our families or building our businesses. So I'm kind of looking at things I'm saying yes to, because anything I'm saying yes to, it means I'm saying no to something else. There's the reality of trade-offs. But luckily, that feeling of compassion, there's no need to have a trade-off there. That's something that can be applied no matter what. So that's what I'm thinking about. And yeah, thanks for tuning in and have a wonderful day.